Zena, your best friend who loves horror, back in the horror library. Chase scenes are iconic and very necessary when it comes to the horror genre. In this video, I want to share with you guys my top 5 fastest people in horror. And yeah, I could talk about the crawlers from The Descent or zombies or the Predator, but this time around, I want to stick with humans. First up, let's talk about Letty, aka from Lovecraft Country 2020. In the 1950s, a man's journey in search of his missing father becomes a struggle to survive racist terrors and terrifying monsters. Sadly, the series only had 1 season, which sucks. And I'm still hurt by it. A second season, Lovecraft Country Supremacy, was in development, but in July 2021, HBO announced that the series has been canceled. When it comes to Letty, she has always been my favorite in this series. So basically, she was a photographer who traveled across the country, and she was a civil rights activist. She has siblings, but for some reason, they do treat her differently. Not for some reason. I don't want to say why, because that will spoil it. I can go into a whole discussion on Lovecraft Country because I love that show. The reason why Letty is on this list because I absolutely love the scene where she is running to a car in the woods. She's bloody and she's really going for it. That is how you run when a monster and pure chaos is going on around you. If you haven't watched the show, I highly recommend it. I still miss it. Next up, Lance from Black Summer, Season 1, 2019. The series Black Summer is set in the Z Nation universe. This series follows a crack team of special forces as it fights for hope in the darkest hours of the zombie apocalypse. Lance is the type of character either you'll love him or you'll hate him. I'm gonna be honest and say he really did get on my nerves because he was constantly running, and I get it, zombies are out. However, he also put other people in danger. You know what I mean? And I feel like in the first season, the only reason why he survived, it was on luck. He spent majority of the season running. There's a scene where there is a zombie that looks annoyed at him because he was chasing him for a while, and I was right there with the zombies, and I usually don't side with no zombies. After a while, are you gonna fight back? He chose not to fight back. Like, he was just a very dangerous character. I don't even think that he should have been with a group because he put everybody at risk. This is gonna sound so mean. At one point, because he just kept on running, I was kind of rooting for him to die. Sorry. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's just trying to survive, but it was a lot. When it comes to this series, Black Summer, I absolutely love the first season. I don't even know if I told you guys this, but I'm a huge fan of zombies. So I had a feeling that I was going to enjoy this show. The second season, it was okay. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed because certain things happened. No spoilers! But if you like fast-paced zombie series, I highly recommend checking this one out. Next up, Tom from Cocaine Bear, 2023. Inspired by the 1985 true story of a drug runner's plane crash, missing cocaine and the black bear that ate it. In this one, it finds an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converging in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound bear has ingested a staggering amount of cocaine and gone on a coke-fueled rampage for more blow and blood. The cabin in the woods with the ambulance scenes is by far my favorite scene in this insane movie. And I have to talk about Tom. Imagine just doing your job when you see a wild, bloody bear in a cabin. I do exactly what Tom did and run out of there. Cocaine Bear is just insane to watch. It's funny, it's brutal, it's bloody. Highly recommended. Next up, Walter from the psychological horror Get Out 2017. A young African-American man visits his white girlfriend's parents for the weekend, where his simmering uneasiness about their reception of him eventually reaches a boiling point. No spoilers, but Walter is the groundskeeper for the Armitage family. One night, Chris is outside smoking a cigarette, and then he sees Walter running straight for him in the night. Can you imagine if you seen someone running towards you at full speed in the night? I mean, I probably would have just froze like Chris did, but I would want to run. You should check out this movie if you haven't seen it for some reason. But I can say Walter does have some speed on him. Like, it was just very weird and creepy that you're just in the night. That's how you spending your time? And finally, Don from 28 Weeks Later, 2007. 6 months after the original epidemic, the rage virus was inflicted on the population of Great Britain. The US Army helps to secure a small area of London for the survivors to repopulate and start again, but not everything goes according to plan. The opening scene of 28 Weeks Later, it is so intense and it keeps me on the edge of my seat no matter how old it is and no matter how many times I've seen it, and that is because of Don. So I thought it was so messed up that Don left behind the other survivors. It was especially messed up that he left his wife. Yes, he was trying to get her to go with him, but he like slammed that door and he ran, and she was at the window screaming. Curious about this one. Do you think it was wrong that Don left behind everyone, including his wife? Should he have stayed and fought? Would he been able to fight? Like, regardless of how you may feel about this movie, I think that we can all agree the energy is high. All right, guys, so that's my list of the top 5 fastest people in horror. I would like to know who are some of your favorites. Let me know. And just thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's just trying to survive, but it was a lot. Like and subscribe.